Namaskar. I'm Dr. Nalini Avinash Wagmare, working as an assistant professor at Maharashtra Vidyapith. This is my brief information. Today's our topic is related to Cold War as well as disintegration of USSR. Actually, Cold War, its causes, its consequences, and nature of Cold War I have taken in last lecture. In this lecture, we directly focus on the what were the causes to disintegration of USSR and what were the impact of disintegration of USSR on world. स्लाइड नहीं आ रहा मुझे, बोलना पड़ेगा ना. Namaskar. I am Dr. Nalini Avinash Wagmare, working as an assistant professor at Maharashtra Vidyapith, Pune. This is my brief information. Today's our topic is related to disintegration of USSR. So in this topic, we have to study related to what were the causes of disintegration of USSR and its impact on world politics. So here the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, we call that in short as a USSR. The formal name of the Communist Party stayed formed in Russia in 1922 and lasting until its breakup in 1991. Russia was the largest of the 15 republics of the Union. So causes of disintegration of USSR, let's see one by one. Gorbachev abandoned the theory of Stalin about the forming of communist bloc in Eastern Europe, withdraw Russian troops from several countries of Europe. Gorbachev was also in favor of disarmament, facing difficulties on economics. Then politics of perestroika, reorganization, and glasnost in Russia. These are the two reasons the disintegration of Russia also took place, which introduced by the Gorbachev in his period in Russia. Then differences with China on Indian society. Then other causes, basically, genesis and process of disintegration, its impact on the society and politics. With the outbreak of Cold War, the entire world was divided into two blocks. The two big powers, one is Russia and another one is America, were leaders of their respective group, and there emerged a political process to prove her superiority over other country. If we pay our attention to the cause of Cold War, it would seem that it was such an attempt of Russia which did not prove to be adventurous at the later stage, because his another attempt was to bring the other nations in the fold of communist monarchy system. In fact, Russia had a hope that the countries of which had been victim of colonial imperialism, they would immediately adopt the communistic thinking and there would be such a monarchy as it was in Russia. So Russia was trying in this type of things. This is the one cause. Then, but from the political point of view, the thinking of Russia was narrow. The chief reason of it was this, that Russia was not as rich as America, nor he had cordial relations with rich countries like Western Europe. No doubt communism was established in China because of the support of Russia, but she did remain her follower in the long run. Other nations of Southeast Asia, which got their independence recently, were communist. They were under the influence of China. Eastern European countries, nations also adopted communism due to pressure of Russia. By the year 1980, Russia also had to show her disinterest towards the communism because of reasons given below. Because when after Russian Revolution, in the time of Stalin, the other countries, they wanted to spread the communism other parts of the world and they control the other nation in their hands. But later on, 1980, the whole Russian politics was changed. Let's see. Role of intellectual and literary persons. The new generations of Soviet Union and Eastern Europe were greatly influenced by the free lifestyle, cinema, music, etc. Rapid progress and increasing prosperity Western countries had created doubt among the people regarding the success of communism. Another reason is that these people had firm opinion that economic prosperity was not possible in the regime of the communist. It had therefore created feeling of discontentment among the youths of Russia, and they began to oppose this system. They think that this communism is not reason to progress the world. The other reasons also behind it. Then other reasons, economic reasons. The communist countries failed to stick to their promise that they would make the people more prosperous than the people of the capitalist countries. Soviet Union and all other communist countries of Eastern European were quite backward from the point of view of technical development, production of crops, and industrial production. They could not get success in fulfilling their assurances. The republics of Soviet Union were also prey of economic inequality. These republics were the source of procuring raw material. As in each republic, only one crop or one industry was patronized for development. Hence, the republic failed to attain around economic development. This is also one more reason to start the disintegration of Russia. However, some of the republics like Armenia, Ukraine, etc., were quite conscious of their economic sovereignty. In spite of their full economic support and contribution to the Soviet Union, some of republics remained in economical loss. Hence, signs of discontentment began to appear in the republic against Soviet Union. So they faced the economic problem, unemployment, and other things. Then rule of Stalin. Stalin was not considered a powerful country before Second World War. But during the war period, England and America, being forced by the circumstances, had to seek his support lest they should join hands with the Germany. With incorporation, Russia among the founders UNO, which enabled to reach at equal standard of the allied nations. So it was a matter of pride for Russia, but Stalin never had faith in America and the countries of Western Europe. So Stalin wanted to spread the communism. In fact, after the end of the war, the policy which was adopted by Stalin towards Berlin and Korea clearly indicate that elements of disintegration existed in the foreign policy of Stalin. He resorted to an aggressive policy from the very beginning. He imposed communism on the countries of Eastern Europe from the very beginning. The Republic of Russia also did not have faith in communism. Perhaps Stalin was himself not very much in the knowledge as to how he should strengthen communism in Russia. So his policy did not prove fruitful and lead to the disintegration of socialist blocs. He wanted to explain the communism in the world, but not a proper planning and other things. And in his own country, the people not like this communism. Then cultural reasons. There was much cultural differences between Soviet Union and the countries of socialist blocs. The people of different language and races lived in Ukraine, Latvia, Armenia, etc. They had only a formal confidence in Soviet Union in their national feelings. They were compelled to join hands with Soviet Union. Marx did not recognize religion. Therefore, the communist government of Russia had destroyed all the religious places. Hence, the Muslim and Christian living in Soviet Russia were annoyed with Stalin internally and often expressed their resentment in their activities. So the politics interfere in the religious matter. That is also one more reason to disintegration of Russia. Then discontentment among the people. The feeling of public for which they destroyed capitalists and the royalists and supported the communism was not fulfilled, because they never wished that their position would become like that of a forced laborer who work only for boarding and lodging. They completely dissatisfied with the behavior of their leaders and their policy of dictatorship. And forcefully, people join in the factories and they have to do work day and night for the progress of nations. This is not liked by the many people. All of their dreams of happy and prosperous life were shattered. Intellectuals, artists, literary men, and youths formed their organization which began to work against the communist system secretly, and it was not possible to crush all of them. The republics of Soviet Russia began to demand their sovereignty and reach separation from her. Thus, the existence of communism began to weaken because not fulfilled its original ideas and not implemented its policies in practically. Then role of Western countries. The Western countries began to encourage people living in Eastern Europe for reforms pertaining to existing system. The situation has changed so much that the countries of Eastern Europe and dissatisfied republics of Soviet Union began to expect help and support of the Western countries for their salvation. Then the another basic reason of disintegration of Russia is the reforms done by this Mikhail Gorbachev. Mikhail Gorbachev captured power of Soviet Union in 1985 at the age of 54. He wanted to break the boredom of his predecessor period, which is continued till that date. He wanted to inject the new life in Soviet Union. Hence, the policies which he adopted affect the foreign matters more. Return of army from Afghanistan and reform of relation with China abolished the gold. In 1988, Gorbachev criticized many such policies which were continuing from the past. He wanted to new things introduced in the state in his time. So he introduced two policies. One is perestroika, Russian restructuring. The term attached to the attempts 1985 to 1991 is continued by introduced by the Gorbachev to transform the command economy, the Soviet Union into a decentralized market-oriented economy. Then industrial managers and local government and the party officials were granted greater autonomy and open elections were introduced in an attempt to democratize the Communist Party organization. Means centrally they are not kept, they have given freedom to do work. Autonomous introduced in various fields. Then glasnost, that is Russian openness, perestroika and glasnost. Two are the main reason to disintegration of Russia, which introduced by the Gorbachev. So here the Russian openness initiated in 1985 by Gorbachev. Glasnost refers to the public policy with the Soviet Union of openly and frankly discussing economic and political realities. Whatever your economic problem, political crisis or political thought or political things you want to discuss with the particular things openly, but in the past it's not existing. At that time, Gorbachev found so many things and he wanted to disintegration of Russia. Then beside the disintegration of Soviet Union, the chief reason of the decline of communism in Eastern Europe countries was the policy of Gorbachev, which affected the countries adversely. He called back the Soviet armies from Germany, Yugoslavia, and Hungary, and also declared his opinion of no interference in their matters in case they were in trouble. So they have given freedom to those people, and whatever army was there, the Russian army, they called back to their own nation. Now the rulers of these places were not in a position to rule on old pattern, nor there remained any fear of external intervention among the opposite group. Thus, the reforms of Gorbachev played a significant role in organizing the disorganized opposition in the communist countries and giving them an active form to introduce their own reform in their states. These are the 15 republics. The Soviet Union, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, that is USSR, had a total of 15 republics before its disintegration in 1991. Russia was one of the republics. Listing below are the member republics in the country: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, Uzbekistan. Then how these are changed. Then the political changes in Eastern Europe. As a result of disintegration, the following political changes took place in the countries of Eastern Europe, like Poland, Hungary, Yugoslavia, Eastern Germany, Romania, Albania, Bulgaria, there also the policies are changed. Then later on, we find that how the world politics from bipolar, America and Russia, bipolar system later on become only one unipolar, means one political power in the world. From bipolar to unipolar world system, socialism in decline. Disintegration Soviet Union made a powerful country of the period of Cold War. This appeared from the international political area. Now there was only one power, United States of America, in existing after disintegration took place in 1991. Now in the world power we consider only USA. Consequently, the polarization came to an end and form of world politics became unipolar under the leadership of America. As regards the collection of atomic weapon, countries like China, Britain, France were far behind from America. Comparatively, America had reached at the top of its progress, scientific expenses, and extensive war capacity. These are the reasons America became as a stronger one. From this, the process of supremacy of America began in the world. The supremacy of America can be well judged and understood on the following grounds. What were the reasons that America became as a superpower? Then the political supremacy of America. After the decline of communism, America policymaker declared the capitalist democratic political system a new and unavoidable need of the time. Failure of communism and liberal program provided a moral symbol to the attitude of America, but the American cooperation and support being given to oligarchy system like Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, puts a sign of interrogation on its existence. The American directives concerning to different developing countries about responsible rule, human right, liberty of citizenship, etc., express the political supremacy of America over other countries. Then economic supremacy also we find America uses different institutions, policies, and principles in order to keep control on the economy of the third world. Third world we also India, Africa. This also comes under third world. Even some southeastern countries also. Economy of the third world with the help of Western Europe. The internal structure of international institution, working system, and execution of World Bank, International Monetary Bank, and World Trade Center all are influenced by American attitude. All are now under its control. Even UN also under the American control. So American supremacy naturally went high and the Russian supremacy went down. Countries like France, Germany, Italy, and the countries of Western Alliance group often show their opposition to our economic supremacy. Several American economic supremacy in the developed and underdeveloped countries. Huge capital, high technique, efficient administration, worldwide working system of this corporation, by pushing the domestic trade backward, compel them to work in the subordination of these corporations, which is also clear sign of the economic supremacy of the American. So most of the people through unanimously working for the development of America. Then what is the cultural supremacy? Also we find most evidence picture of supremacy of America can be seen in cultural field. In the whole world, through the means of communication, TV channels, planet, movies, and consumerism, thinking the American values and lifestyle are reached and expanded. During the period of Cold War, challenge was put forth before cultural imperialism by means of literature and drama, but decline of Soviet Union and infiltration of increasing lifestyle of America established cultural supremacy. If anybody wanted to, a higher education person, if not getting job in his own country, he wanted to go to the America for earning money and name, fame, as well as status. So that was took place at the time also. Then the today developed countries like Italy, France, Sweden, Denmark are making joint efforts to keep the values and cultural legacy intact. The America films, CDs, and books which are being consumed in Europe by France European Union has been used as the opposite side in order to make the curtailment in it. Thus, the countries of third world have been well gripped in the cultural supremacy of America, and it's attacked the poor countries, even American goods, technologies, other things introduced in these countries and marketing its things. Moreover, various cold drinks, TV channels, and varieties of fast food, etc., are the source of imposing the American lifestyle on the rest of the world. And attempts are being made to bring people, all groups in its vicinity. Then military supremacy also. In spite of the end of Cold War, America has not gave up her military activities. Rather, she has been making the economic, political, and cultural supremacy. Fear of military power was a significant part of policy of America, by which she forced the countries of her followers. So these are the, we find that disintegration of Russia, bipolar to unipolar, then the causes to disintegration Russia and its impact on the world, how unipolar system, that is America, superior because of military, economic, weapons, and other point of view. So these are the few reference book you can refer for detailed study for the Cold War, its impact of the world, or disintegration of Russia and other things. So thank you very much for listening my lecture. Thank you.